Yeah, this is so crazy, man. It's like this bitch Remy dried up hoe is like she trying to come after Nicki, and I'm part of the Barbie clan, man. You know, so I'm like, fuck this old ass bitch, dust pile bitch, old ass milk bitch, trying to come after Nicki. Queens all day, queens all fucking day, and Nicki's the queen of hip hop. Let's be real.
I can see that this bitch is extremely annoying.
Jay-Z is collecting old dusty ass niggas to come against the new school. Let's be real. And you know,
it has nothing to do with the new school. Nicki, you do not even write your own bars.
What the fuck? First of all, Nicki is the best female artist ever. Like, I'm telling you.
Rest in peace to Whitney Houston.
Fuck Whitney. Whitney is a Newark bitch. You know, it's fake ass New Yorkers. Anyway, everybody, you gotta support Nicki, Jay-Z, Remy, Meek Mill, the whole Dustball crew is coming after her. I'm just saying, you gotta stand up.
And this is Thought Crimes.
Welcome to Thought Crimes, everybody. That's right, this is your boy Prince Solomon.
And this is your girl, Sincere Ignorance.
All right, now, that's right, we're back right now. And we had a chance to listen to, what is it called? SHETHER, which is, of course, Remy Ma's. And she basically just going in on Nicki Minaj for about a good 7 minutes, which is a healthy mixtape diss track. Something of the likes we haven't seen in a minute, at least concerning with a lot of notable rappers. And let's be real, Nicki Minaj and Nicki Minaj, they have been sending subliminals to each other. You remember, of course, Sincere, we laughed at, what was the dude? The dude sound like Designer's daddy, the big old steroid ass nigga that was, wait.
Oh yeah, wait a minute.
Old nigga rap, right?
Yeah.
And anyway, though, but it was clear that Remy Ma's verse was definitely taking a shot at Nicki.
Oh yeah, look, they supposed to have issues before, but everything calmed down. It looked like they were cool. And people, look, I'm gonna get into it. People, look, Jay-Z is a beast, and we're gonna get into that in a second. But you know, Remy didn't go after Nicki while she was, supporting Tidal. Also the deal that she made with Tidal. And a lot of things in between that, you saw them die down. Everything was cool. Like even when they were buzzing that Nicki was having an issue with Remy when Young Ma came out, and she had that hot joint and everybody was getting on it. But Remy and Nicki both said there weren't any problems. Now that Nicki has broken up, or whoever was the person who initiated the relationships, and Nicki is joined back with Drake and Lil Wayne, and we already know that Drake is heavily a part of Apple Music and the streaming wars. And there's also been some tension and issues between Nicki, Beyonce, and Jay-Z, allegedly. And most of those rumors, though, were just like pushed to the side as just rumors. But Remy mentioning Jay-Z in that track confirmed something for me that I wasn't going to say until I felt it. And when she said that, I felt Jay-Z has something to do with that. And it's a real hot diss track, let's be honest. Bar for bar, Remy is a better MC than Nicki Minaj. And it was interesting, her perspective on Nicki. Do you stay with your day one, or whether they created what type of mistake, or do you jump off to somebody else without actually, I guess, going through the motions of really rectifying that previous relationship? And then also at the same time, she's kind of standing up for Meek Mill, who is a big artist for Jay-Z. And I don't mean big as in popularity. We know that J. Cole and Beyonce, Rihanna are the biggest, but even though Beyonce isn't signed under
but
Jay-Z,
he has a place.
But no, you know what I'm saying. He's not the biggest, but he serves a purpose.
Yeah, he has a solid audience.
But whoa, that track confirmed a lot of things. She was sticking up for Meek Mill.
As y'all can tell, Sincere's been thinking about this.
She was sticking up for Meek Mill, she was sending subliminals, and not just subliminals, but alt-right in your face attacks at
alternative
Nicki.
facts.
And yeah, this track actually has a lot of shit that's in it if people pay attention.
All right, now this is what we're gonna do. All right, first of all, let's be honest here. If it wasn't for Beanie Siegel, I'm joking. Nah, it is. Facts. If it wasn't for me, the little nigga wouldn't even have a platform. Facts. But here's my thing about it. If you chronicle Jay-Z's career, this is why I like him for a different reason. You know, people came at me all the time. They come at all kind. Y'all some Jay-Z dick riders. Look, bro, we like winners. Period. You know, it's like even Trump, Alex Jones, Mike Pence, Mark Dice. I can't stand their ideology, but I recognize the hustle, and it's a game, and they play to win. In this situation, if you recap Jay-Z's entire career, he's always moved brooks and ponds in front of his way. You know, if there's an issue, if he sees something happening on the other side, he starts shifting players around. Whether he put Beanie Siegel and state property in the way so they can hold the L or carry the W for the team, or if you saw what he did with True Life and Dipset, you know, he didn't want to deal with the diplomats. You know, he called them dust bunnies in so many words. So he put an eager dude in the way like True Life, who was like, yo, I'm gonna carry this fight for you. You know, someone represent the New York, right? Y'all remember that? Then now you have this situation here where I can't say 100%, but it's smelling like it. It's still falling along the same camps. Gotta remember now, Meek Mill broke up with Nicki Minaj, or Nicki Minaj broke up with Meek. You know, whatever the case is, they ain't together. All right. So she drifts back over to Drake. She's like, you know, my career, I gotta get back over here. Drake was like, hey, you know, you should be here, right? So Drake and Tunchi or Wayne, whatever y'all want to call them, they all back in the same spot. They even did the little selfie together, right? Look like the Oscars, right? Together. Everybody was happy. Oh my god, this is gonna be fire. Oh my god, I can't wait to skip the mixtape, right? Now that is Meek Mill. He's out of that camp. Nicki Minaj she's went back and chosen her side, which is with Drake and Lil Wayne. Now on the flip side though, keep in mind, Fat Joe is over there with Tidal, right? Fat Joe and Remy Ma got joints together, right?
Yes, they've been seen with Jay-Z, Photoshop.
Got the photo ops and everything. So Remy, in a sense, is like, yo, I'm over here with my dude Joe, who is her day one dude, you know what I'm saying? Papoose and Joe, y'all can see she's been down with him since day one. So right now, what I have been seeing personally, which I kind of been hoping a little bit, because I always said to test Nicki Minaj's valor as a lyricist, she's going to have to engage with somebody publicly, you know. And I think, to be honest with you, and Lovely T, she touched on it, I think people understated the value and the actual effort that somebody like Safari put into that whole Nicki Minaj corporation, right? Even if you listen to Safari's his songs he got now, you know, he's goofy, don't get me wrong, he's goofy how he projects himself, what he looks like in the video, but I hear something, I look past some of the goofiness, right? And I hear lyrics, you know, I hear bars, I hear a flow pattern, I hear the way he uses metaphors and similes, which I've seen routinely in the, you know, the beginning stages and the mid stages of Nicki Minaj's career. Now we're at the point where let's be real, Remy Ma is not somebody like Nicki Minaj can talk around like she did Lil' Kim, because Lil' Kim was like, everybody kind of agreed she was washed up, she became somewhat of a joke. She could still get busy, don't get me wrong.
I was gonna say her lyrics actually was still stinging, but nobody
really cared. Because they were
landing, but nobody, you know.
Yeah, it was a point where people can make fun of the messenger's clothing attire and disregard the message.
Let's be real, the surgery, the bot surgery is what messed up Kim.
You look like Michael Jackson, right?
Real quick, I just want to say that's the only thing, because I felt if she didn't do that, people would have still took it serious.
And this is a testament to Lil' Kim's status in the game, because people still wanted to hear. I wanted to hear what she had to say. I didn't care what the fuck she looked like. I didn't care if she looked like Willy Wonka in the face. I said I want to hear Kim and Nicki get busy on the microphone, and that's all I ever been interested in, you know. And then now though, we at with Remy Ma, right? there's nothing you can say about Remy Ma that will validate Nicki Minaj ignoring her. Nothing. Like, what are you talking about? Album sales? Ain't nobody selling right now, so that's off the table. All right.
Well, Nicki album sales have done pretty well, but overall, in the greater scheme of things, like when you work with a factory, corporation, that really doesn't mean anything. Like she brought up at that point. Yeah. But I will also say I want to address your point where you was talking about Safari. Yeah. It reminds me of, what's the creator of The Simpsons again?
Matt Groening.
Okay, so Matt, he's a really great writer and a layout person.
Yeah, Matt Groening.
So his drawings of The Simpsons was ugly. Mm-hmm. But of course his day ones were able to polish that up, James make it look great. And everything, you know, then the voiceovers. It's all about teams. Because if you think about it, there are guys who are good with laying out things, but they may not be the face of executing something. And when we're talking about Nicki and Safari and that whole crew, everybody has a job. And sometimes the person that is good with laying out things is not going to be the person that is actually good with executing those layouts when it comes to singing or when it comes to rapping or when, you know.
Yeah, so, it's the same thing. It's the same thing that traditionally happens in music. Right? We have to get real. Like, we at the point where rap has gotten so big that yes, there are writers, you know, just like you had writers from Mariah Carey and Whitney Houston. There are excellent writers who can write shit around both Whitney and Mariah, but they can't deliver like Whitney and Mariah. Well, you know what I'm saying?
And we should also be fair, though. You know, there are also artists that collaborate with their writers. I mean, Janet Jackson, people still don't give her enough credit to this day. She wrote almost all of Janet, period. And then for The Velvet Rope, she was 50-50 with Jam and the rest. And so you do have artists that, you know, they also put in that, you know, that 50-50 work with some people. So with Nicki, it could be 50-50 with her and Safari, but the point is he's not getting enough credit for what he has put in.
It is the case here because I do feel like it's like you and I, we're a team, right? Yeah. We will be borderline mentally impaired if we went down and tried to split up exactly who does what does what.
At this point, it doesn't matter anymore.
It's an amalgamation, right? Yeah. So, you know, with somebody like Nicki Minaj, I'm legitimately interested because here's the reason why I say she cannot ignore Remy Ma, period. If she ignores Remy Ma, it's actually going to inadvertently seal her fate in the grand scheme of things as far as like people say street rap or real hip hop connoisseurs. They'll look at her as a pop artist if she's going to completely branch off in that direction. The reason why I say that is because you came down to date Meek Mill. You didn't go up and date a Kobe Bryant or some black almost billionaire, right? Some
actor. Yeah. Let's just be real. Some actor, some pop star. Yeah, we're talking about. Yeah,
you wasn't in a romantic fling with Idris Elba. You know, you came down and dated Meek Mill, and you carried that with honor. So those artists that are within that space as a Meek Mill, you know, that's not above you now, okay? Because you came down, you was visible. And even though she was illustrating the point, Remy Ma, with Meek Mill, she did splash him at the same time because she's like, basically, it's kind of your fault for not dealing with that whole camp because now I got to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? In a sense. So to be honest with you, I would be really interested to see if Nicki Minaj is going to respond. I think she can have a crazy flow if she wants to, but if she plays this role of I'm gonna ignore these broke bitches, you know what I'm saying? I got pearls on my vagina, like don't nobody want to hear that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Well, actually, she could, like you said, she could have done that prior to Meek Mill because of the arena that she put herself in. It's kind of like with Drake right now. He ignores a lot of people because he made sure he stayed on a certain path, a little blemishes here and there, but he stayed on a certain path and he did not address any street dude until he found the strategy to do so. He executed it great with Meek Mill and then he moved forward, which was genius. And you see him saying right now, I don't even care about going into rap anymore like this. I'm going full pop. And, you know, I'm going to keep elements of hip hop here and there, but this is where I'm going and I'm staying. And with his dating patterns, he's never, or even outside of dating, you know, people who are put up together for marketing ploy.
Yeah.
He's never gone down. He's like, okay, Rihanna and I, we're gonna hook back up for this particular marketing ploy. Oh, I'm gonna hook up with J-Lo for a marketing ploy. Yes. He's always stayed on with people who are on his level in that arena. With Nicki, like you illustrated, she went down. And I know some people want to be like, well, what about Jay-Z and Beyonce? That's different because Jay-Z went up.
Oh, come on. It ain't even the same conversation. But you can go ahead and explain. I'm just saying, it's just goofy to even say that.
Yeah, by the time that Jay-Z and Beyonce were together, Jay-Z have already acquired a certain amount of wealth and prestige that went on overdrive.
He was like at 300 million at the time.
That went on overdrive once meeting with Beyonce. He was already giving himself like the title of being a businessman and moving forward. Still, of course, being hip hop, but moving forward. Meek Mill doesn't have that. He still have, and this is not to disrespect anyone, but he still has a lot of grime on him, as people would illustrate. And Nicki stepping down with him is L because he's not a day one. You know, when it's a day one person, people excuse you. And personally, a lot of people should have probably felt she should have just stayed completely with her camp. Drake stayed completely with Lil Wayne. That's the person who brought him in, and he's had to falter with that relationship. And
well, yeah.
And Drake also, you know, he's moving forward in a different direction. He's making sure Wayne and now Nicki stay. Now, I will give Nicki one thing. She didn't publicly ridicule or said anything to Drake, meaning that should have shown some type of loyalty. But
that's
if that's
a business
the case,
move.
No, but all of his business. If that's the case, though, you need to go 100%. Her mistake is thinking that she could keep that door open while still moving forward with this other option, and now it's blowback.
Well, actually, it's not really. It's blowback right now because Remy Ma she's the person. She's the only nigga in the room pointing it out, like on this big scale of a level.
But remember what we said about some of those things inside that
But here's the thing: the reason why I said it was a business move and she acted on it is because, look, let's be real about this. You know, her and Meek Mill, that shit wasn't no like love. That wasn't no like both of them drinking the poison on some Romeo and Juliet shit. What she did, she was like, I'm gonna go ahead and link with somebody that's somewhat of a celebrity, or you know, this type of select. She's never had that in her career. Where
no, I actually disagree with this one person. But go ahead.
All right, but she never had this in her career as far as being linked publicly with somebody like Meek Mill.
You think that she went with Meek Mill for business? As a business thing that she thought?
Oh, no. What we saying here, no, it all boils down to business, as you know, as we both illustrated here. But for her and Meek Mill, they supposedly had great chemistry together. I saw her in some Angie Martinez interviews. She said she was feeling them or whatever, right? The issue here, though, on the flip side, she made sure that she didn't publicly diss Drake or that camp, right? Because at the end of the day, just in case this shit with Meek Mill get a little rocky, I can slide back off into the camp, which is exactly what she did.
That is business, but I don't think she ever went with Meek Mill for business.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I want to make that clear.
It was just about.
Yeah, I never. Making that clear. Prince didn't say that. What Prince is saying is that at the end of the day, it adds out to business, even though there's personal interest in there. Mm-hmm. So I can legitimately be interested in someone, but also I keep in mind that it still looks good if my name is linked up with theirs too, as we've seen that with celebrities previously.
So I will say, I agree with you that of course keeping the door open with Drake was business. With Meek Mill, it wasn't business at all because she didn't stay up on her business. She was actually making terrible moves. She wasn't really focused on things that she should have been focused on.
Having horrible collaborations with Meek Mill as well, because everybody clowned her about them goofy ass collaborations.
Yeah, so she wasn't thinking about keeping her empire or building her empire further. In fact, she became more of a ghost while with Meek Mill.
She did.
And that's a major mistake. You know, personally, when it comes to me, I'm not going to be with somebody who doesn't understand business. That's why, as we see it today, you know, Jay-Z and Beyonce make a good couple, seeming looking from the outside in, because they both understand business, and that includes with each other. With Nicki, I think she made poor decisions personally, of course, jumping to somebody else after a long-term relationship. But I
I just want to see
not
what she
focusing
get
on the
busy.
money. I respect Drake. You know, we clown him, we make fun of him, some things about him, and we joke around. But I respect Drake because in the midst of personal hurt, and no matter what goes on in his personal life, he still makes sure I gotta keep this business going, and I gotta make sure. You
have to,
because at the end of the day, he proved that everybody is. A lot of people are after him.
It don't matter.
And after his spot.
At the end of the day, you got to keep doing it. The only thing I want to see more than anything else, I want to see how Nicki's gonna play this. If are we gonna have one of these situations where it's like Drake and Meek Mill? And I like what Remy said. She said, "You think you Drake and I'm Twitter fingers." That's not the case here. So if Nicki Minaj does this thing where I'm too pretty to box, and like I said, the only people I kind of gave an excuse to that was Jay-Z, maybe even Drake now, because he has a right. Like
Drake
these guys,
as well.
Yeah, these guys are in different spaces where they don't have to, respond to anybody. The only person I've seen that, hey, he didn't care if the rapper was big, if they were small, was 50 Cent. 50 Cent responded to everybody, and it kind of ate him up in the long run. But he used to always show he wasn't above a bunch of that. But with Nicki Minaj, if she gets in a space where I don't have to respond, and let's be honest about this, y'all, like Remy Ma and Papoose are like a fan favorite on the internet, period. Like I see people, men and women, like both of them. So they're actually in a great space. Remy's in a great space for this. She has nothing but to gain from this situation. And Nicki Minaj
has everything to lose.
She does, whether she responds or not. This is the thing about it. It's not in a situation where if she ignores her, she's going to be shown to be the bigger, superior person. Because let's go back again, as I stated. We've seen her be with Meek Mill, so she's obviously not above a certain tier of artists. She's made that known. She's mentioned things, and she's done subliminals to Remy, and Remy's responded back. So,
real quick, I do want to add, Meek Mill is only 50% of it. I think if it was just the Meek Mill thing, she could have stumbled away even across ignoring Remy Ma. I think the other half of it is for not maintaining her empire while with Meek Mill. I think that's the other half of it.
Well, it happens with women. It does, and women in general had to, take heed to what they see in the wild. Who are you going to bow down to or submit to as far as opening the door for a possible relationship? Not in the sense of you got to be a fucking carpet. That's not what I mean. But just like in Goldie and the Mac, Black China, she went up to Goldie and she said, "I choose you," and the pimp Pretty Tony was like, "Say, bitch, you out of your mind?" But at that point he lost his power. He got dethroned. She was the baddest one in the state when she chose Goldie. So Nicki Minaj had walked up to Meek Mill and chose him, and he wasn't the type of lion that was fit to lead the pride. He wasn't. He was doing all type of goofy beefs, retracting shit, bitching up at the wrong time, flipping out, popping willies at the wrong time. So that's why people looked at Nicki Minaj was like, damn, you don't even know how to select a quality man. You know what I'm saying? So I agree with you in that point is because she gave the keys to somebody like Meek Mill, who was immature, all right, and at the same time on the back end she wasn't making sure her shit was tight as far as at least keeping her name bubbling.
Business thing is she still had loyalty towards the Drake camp and the Wayne camp,
right? And
the problem is, this is why Jay-Z, let's be real, Jay-Z is behind this as well too. The reason that she should have chose a camp. The thing is, I don't think Remy would have went after Nicki. Let's say if Nicki is with she signs the Rock Nation, she's with the Jay-Z camp. He's not, no, this is not what we're doing on this side. You see how serious he is. These streaming wars are really serious. They take it serious. This is why the game don't have J. Cole's number anymore. This is why, J. Cole is moving a bit differently. No matter what anybody says, the streaming wars are serious. And going back to Nicki, she put a little bit into title, this and that, but then she drifted back off, and now that she's broken up with Meek Mill, it's obvious to me personally.
Yeah, and so it just kind of, people joked about it, but yes, there is Meek Mill L residue There's a couple stains on Nicki Minaj's skirt tail. So I just want to see a dope lyricist battle if we're gonna get one.
Remy will win though.
Yeah, well, yeah, I just want to see it. I want to see how it plays out. There's things I would like to see how it plays out. I know for a fact that Remy Ma is definitely a spitter. She's always had hard bars. She was always the hardest rapper out of Terror Squad. Period.
She's a better rapper than Meek Mill.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, yeah.
That's the
and having more confidence too.
Yeah, that's the thing that's going to be interesting. It's kind of funny, right? Drake, because Meek Mill isn't savvy, and a lot of people feel he's a heavy spitter. He's an average spitter, and a lot of his stuff is formulaic. So that's why Drake was able to wash him. Drake didn't go after anybody else of a higher caliber.
I think Drake looked at him. He was like, "I smell bitch on you."
And that's why I like Drake. Let's be real. He did that.
I smell bitch on you. They talk about me, but I smell bitch on you.
Rappers of a higher caliber than Meek Mill, he always stayed subliminal or didn't say anything at all. With Meek Mill, he was direct. Now, with Nicki, not only is she going against a premier MC, like you said, one with confidence, and she's a spitter. So
yeah, you gotta be real. Come on, man. You know damn well Remy Ma, silly ass, and Papoose be walking around the house battling each other all day. Is this the pot? What do you mean? Is this the pot? Do I really got it like that? Nigga, I'm hot. What the fuck are you talking about? You supposed to be my wife. You supposed to hold me down for life. Nigga, I'm your wife. All that type of, they
walking around there robes like that.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And another thing, Remy Ma, she's like Cassidy in a way. They have the same synergy. The reason why I say that, Cassidy is actually he's kind of uncomfortable in anything else to a degree outside of battling, right? Mm-hmm. Remy Ma has been able to craft decent songs together, but you can tell her tollway zone is the fucking battle line. You know what I'm saying? So if Nicki Minaj says I want to step in that zone with you, like that, even the way Remy battles sometimes, the way she rhymes sometimes, she's always battling this imaginary MC. So you could tell this is what she lives for.
If this turns out to be a success for Remy, and through that, it also will, to me personally, solidify Jay-Z's moves. A lot of us, let's be real, people who have been doing podcasts, we've all to a degree have been making fun of Jay-Z really signing up all these street people, rappers, MCs, and a lot of them, older school. We won't say, of course, not old school, like we're talking about the 80s, but the late 90s, early 2000s, people that he's putting into Tidal and giving these exclusive deals to. If this flips over the way that it definitely can, it definitely puts Jay-Z in a further good light.
Well, I think the reason why I look at it just a little, I agree to a degree on that. Okay. But before they signed with Jay-Z, Fat Joe and Remy Ma, they've had consistent hits, big hits exactly. But though, at the end of the day, it's still war, And Drake is still a representation of iTunes. He's still a representation of Apple, and Nicki Minaj is now over there.
But Jay-Z wants those people to have what Drake is. That's the interesting thing. The funny thing is, Migos, they were able to do that. Even I know they're not under Roc Nation or anything like that. But you do see some hope in this pop-driven society. And I know people would be like their lyrics and stuff, but I'm just talking about people with...
the Migos?
Yeah, I'm just talking about people who are considered street with edge. At this particular time, since hip-hop is becoming more, rap music is becoming more and more mainstream and pop, there are street anthems or songs, whatever, club bangers, all of that are having this run of going on the Billboard 100. Yeah. I know it's happened in the past, but we're just saying that
I kind of want to address that.
It showcases a window open. So let's see. Maybe Jay-Z, the moves that he's making, is something that's working here.
And before we wrap this up here, I want to address something with that when it comes to pop, right? The thing about pop music, it's popular music.
Yeah, anything that's popular, yep.
So again, yes, exactly. Keyword. Anything that could fester into what is popular. So you could have J. Cole, or better yet, you could have Kendrick Lamar, the Black of the Bear, the Black of the Berry. That could be a popular song, or him, I Love Myself, or it could be some joint by Uzi Vert talking about his chain. Whatever catches the public's attention, that's what that area of field is for. And my thing about this, whether you want to talk about the Migos, or whether you want to talk about Rufus with the Funky Chicken back in the 60s and 70s, like the music in regards to popular music, it has always been like that. And again, we're in a great space with social media where artists like Remy Ma could possibly venture into that space as well.
And the media, one last thing I would say, the media was going after Jay-Z saying, oh, he's in the hole, he wasn't paying the artists and that.
Yeah.
Everybody signed to the Rock Nation, which I know is also management, but as some people have pointed out, people who have signed under Rock Nation and also put in with Tidal, all of them still have their independent rights and deals. Rihanna got her masters not too long ago. Remy is still independent.
She says she owns her masters too. She said it in the Shether song. She says, I own my masters. She says, and Nicki Minaj doesn't.
Everybody who doing their own, Jim Jones is allowed to do whatever the fuck he wants. Yep. And this is something that people need to keep in mind. I'm feeling the strategy what Jay-Z is doing. I like Remy's diss track, and
hey man,
and I just say,
it's a hallelujah.
Yeah.
No, it is. It is a hallelujah, man. Because I sometimes I get tired of everybody being so sleepy and friendly with each other, and especially two MCs. Like, well, I know some people may put Nicki in a different space because she's had ghostwriter with Safari. It's just Safari. Yeah, but you think it's just Safari? Do you think Wayne has some hand in that as well? Because I know Wayne said he invested heavily into Nicki.
From what we heard from people behind the scenes that talked to us, people before has said Lil Wayne wrote for Drake and Nicki, but from what I heard from other people about Lil Wayne, I doubt that he put I'm gonna go on the edge and lyrics behind Nicki like that. I think
Safari. He threw something up in there. The
reason why I'm saying no is Nicki was rapping like that before she was signed under Young Money, and Safari and her still were in a relationship. Like if you even look at her mixtape days and even before that, she was spitting like that. So to me, I think. But
she had been with Safari the whole time, though, right?
No, that's what. That's what I'm saying. I think it's just Safari and her.
Maybe it was Gilly the Kid. Wax on, wax off. A mop head, Mr. Miyagi.
Yeah, but all seriousness, I think it was just a dual type thing. It was Safari and Nicki. I think because hearing how she sounded before she was young, she sounded the same. The only difference is how her lyrics sound after her and Safari had.
Well, I will say this. Look, Drake is, when he handled the Meek Mill Twitter situation in the reference tracks, he was a master manipulator. Him and his camp. We had to keep in mind his whole camp, because those memes, that shit flooded, just like they have the Trump bots and the Clinton bots. They had the Drake bots online, which people have come forward and talked about. But they handled it very well, so much to this day that Drake, it did not deter his career. And what I'm going to say here is that when that came out, Drake immediately addressed it, and he dropped something like, he did Charged Up. Remember, we talked about this. I said when he dropped Charged Up, it was a litmus test to see if he wanted to see if Meek was a biter. He was like, if he's gonna tear into my ass or not, right? So even in the interview, Drake talked about it. He says, and I saw he didn't bite, so I just went ahead and dropped back to back. That being said, back to back completely, it was like the little memory stick from Men in Black. It erased everybody's memory about the reference track. It erased everybody's memory about the shit Meek was saying online. So what I'm saying here, Nicki Minaj, she's gonna have an opportunity to turn this around.
I would have just stayed with my camp as Nicki. Just would have stayed with my camp.
It's been too goofy.
Yeah, and with Safari, you
didn't want to be on
make things work.
You want to be on the back of the Willie bikes with Meek Mill in another Rocky video.
Meek Mill isn't my cup of tea. He's not savvy enough when it comes to strategy. At all, actually. Yeah. And Joe Budden, gotta give him credit for that too, because he called it out as well. You were for dumb guy. Yeah. So that means more than likely you're a dumb woman.
This
in this case,
yeah,
she is.
Yeah.
And also, do you want to? We did address before the rape allegations, which came in another video that we talked about with her brother being a rapist.
Yeah.
And people got mad at us in another video that we did where we brought that up.
Get mad at us, that pillow-headed nigga.
What do you have to say about that, Remy? Bring that up.
Oh, with Remy bringing it up. Hey, yo, first of all, look at the fucking track she's rapping over, the instrumental. Takeover was all about facts with Jay-Z. It was facts. Either track I'll go to this day, it was all facts. But Ether was a very dirty, underhanded, glass in your milk, spit in your eye, dirt in your face type record. And so what she did, Remy Ma had channeled that energy that Nas had originally left his DNA on there, and she went in there and she dug deep. She brought up the pedophile shit. She says, "Look, you defending your brother. He's a fucking pedophile. Which
they said DNA evidence, so he is a pedophile."
Yeah, and she said you probably be in another country with his ass doing the same shit. Like, she got real nasty with her. So, like I said, it was a very gritty track.
She's also that's put the internet against her, because you know how people are about pedophilia and
children. You saw what happened with Milo Labalabala.
Yabanabalets.
Yeah.
Pillow head.
Yeah.
You saw what happened with him. Everybody want to talk about Pizzagate. There's a lot of things that people want to address pertaining to pedophilia, and Baby. People accuse him of something because him and Wayne, they kissed as adults, but who knows what Baby was doing with Wayne prior to him becoming an adult. Since he was with him since what, 14?
No, man, he's been with Baby since like 7.
All right.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, somewhere up in there.
There you go. So that's
a long time, man.
That's very questionable.
Yeah, that's a long time.
So if you add in that whole camp and then her being connected to that, is not a good look. So it's actually, she's, you know what, the crazy thing about Remy, you could tell she's trying to destroy Nicki's career.
Well, look what she's coming up against. See, Remy knows.
You don't come lightly with a machine.
This is what I like about MCs like Remy. They know what type of marketing dollars and power that Nicki has. Nicki Minaj does have the corporation on her side.
Oh, she still does.
Even though, as Remy illustrated in that diss record, that you don't get a half or a tenth of what I take home just in fucking some of the albums I've dropped, because the corporations are basically raping you. But on the counter though, if Nicki Minaj was to get on a Drake-ish type campaign, it's a possibility. Don't mean it will be the case, but what Remy did to assert herself in a better position, she came with them bars. It boiled down to the fucking bars at the end of the day. And look, whatever you felt about Drake's back-to-back, at the end of the day, he did bring the bars. It boiled down to the bars.
Can we be fair though?
All right.
But Remy has Jay and some corporations behind her now too, in that format. What I would say for Meek, we have to be fair. Meek only lost not because he didn't have a strong backing behind him. He lost by not having no foresight and not listening.
No bars. He ain't have no bars. I want to know. I want to know. Well, and again, look.
And nobody told him. He was told to go after Drake in a different way. He did not do that. He went on Twitter. So we have to be fair that he gave it to Drake to
the reason why I bring that up with Remy, regardless of who Remy has behind her, she brought the bars, and that's something that's undeniable.
Absolutely,
it's something that's just undeniable. Like, Nas didn't have half of the marketing dollars Jay had, but when he brought them bars, he laid Jay out on his back for that time being. And of course, people will be argumentative about it, but I know what I saw. Clearly, one night, Jay had everybody on his side, and then when Nas dropped Ether, like 5 months later, everybody was on Nas's side. So bringing those bars and that delivery, it matters.
I also want to use a different example as well, because I felt, because Jay-Z and Nas had so much respect for each other, it wasn't really about destroying each other.
Nah.
It was a real athletic competition. As for destroying somebody's career and having a big corporate backing, I think I love using the example of 50 Cent and Ja Rule.
Mm-hmm.
With Eminem, Dr. Dre, getting Busta Rhymes, DMX, everybody to jump on the bandwagon. And go
taking the complete credit for it.
Yeah, but I think that whole campaign is a perfect example of a machine just coming after another team, and then they're not being ready.
People forget Ja Rule got hit from all sides. That's why I hate when people even reminisce on the 50 and Ja battle. People like, yo, 50 destroyed Ja. No, it was 50 Cent. Jay-Z took a shot. Busta Rhymes took a shot. You had Eminem. Then you had the G-Unit Death Row camp as well. Well, no, you had the Eminem Shady Aftermath camp. Then you had Interscope. Then you had Jimmy Iovine, who had a personal interest in it. Then all of a sudden, Murder Inc. get hit with the FBI investigation, so they couldn't say anything. Even Irv Gotti talked about it. He said, yeah, in the middle of everything, we had to shut up because we was under the scope, so we couldn't be in case representing ourselves as, innocent, and then we talking about this other shit.
Somebody up.
So they said they had to chill on a lot of things.
Another thing I will also say is that's Irv Gotti and Ja Rule's fault, because on one hand, the good thing they had is they did keep it small.
Right.
Murder Inc., Ashanti, Gotti, Ja Rule, they were making massive money, a lot. So they had corporate too, but to them, they were more of an island. They like to keep, onto themselves instead of, working politicians or different things like that, the way, Drake does in Canada. Because we have to be honest, they did have the power to do what 50 Cent and them did, but they didn't bother trying to create that. They were focused on something else.
They could have, but I think I understand exactly where you're coming from. But like, if people could remember properly, like the Interscope machine was big.
No, I'm not talking about during the battle. During the battle was too late.
You're talking about prior to.
Yeah, I'm talking about prior to. They had so much money and
they got on their island. They said, nah, we good.
Exactly.
We good. We don't need to make no amends. And well, actually, I mean, at one time, Irv was going to sign Nas. They had a deal on the table. That's why you saw Nas show up in that song with Ja Rule and Ashanti. And they did a remake of "Shed So Many Tears" by Tupac, because Nas was considering that. But anyway, the Interscope machine was so damn big, that Ja Rule and them boys, they had no win in that fight. They really did it. And then on top of that, people weren't gonna side with him. Like Ja Rule didn't have no, like, it wasn't like Jay-Z came out there like, yo, Ja, I got you. Like, nobody came up to the fight for them, but everybody came up to the fight for Interscope, G-Unit, Shady Aftermath, because they all saw some sort of financial benefit in it. Like Busta Rhymes jumped on the train because his career was on the downpike, and then he wanted to do some fresh beats. This is before he did the Big Bang Theory. He linked up with Dr. Dre. He linked up with Eminem. He was all on that point.
You brought up Dr. Dre,
and
that's very important to bring up because that's like Jay-Z right now.
Yep.
Dr. Dre is the one. He call up DMX, call up Buster. Like you said, he call up any of those cats. They're like, yo, we respect Dr. Dre, or they're friends with Dr. Dre. So that's what they did.
Yeah, you never go to war with someone that has more money than you. More money and power and influence. Unless you got a magic kryptonite bullet.
And this is why I said with Murder Inc., they could have been that, because they had the power, but they didn't. They want to look. It's cool in one way because a lot of people just want to be onto themselves. But here is one of the cons to that. When it came up to going against Interscope, all those relationships they could have built that they decided not to. Because let's remember, Irv Gotti and Ja Rule touched hands with Jay-Z, DMX.
Oh, they had the
Busta
crew,
Rhymes.
the Murder Inc. camp or whatever the hell that shit was.
The whole camp could have made businesses and different things with those guys. So when Interscope tried to do that, they would have had a strong defense. But at that time, it was too late. It's too late.
Interscope flexed their power so strong, they pulled all of their advertising and they called their friends to pull their advertising from the Source magazine. People forget the reason why the Source magazine went down is because there was like a black ball with the advertisements in the Source, and magazines have to stay afloat with advertisements. So if you have Interscope, pulling Sony advertisements, they pulling their stuff because you said this shit about Eminem, or you got an issue with G-Unit or 50 Cent. So on the flip side, we'll see where it goes with Nicki Minaj. If she chooses to ignore this, I could see her falling on her own sword.
But like you said, I think this is a an even playing field right now.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, Meek Mill only fell on his sword because he's stupid. But like you said, Remy is savvy. She's confident. She has Jay-Z, Biggie, and other entities behind her now, being with Rock Nation management.
Yeah.
Nicki has like you said, you know, she has companies behind corporate dollars too, and now she's back in the fold with Drake and Wayne.
I can't see how people can't see what this is about.
Yeah, it's all about the streaming, of course. That's the biggest thing.
Because if you take all the artists and you slide them to the sides and their associates, you'll see where the lines are drawn.
Exactly. Look, let's be real. Why did T.I. splash Lil Wayne publicly?
Hey, come on, y'all.
Also, on top of David Banner, you know, saying that they, you know, cheated him out of money. So it's a personal thing as well, because he's close friends with Mr. Banner as well. So like, like you said, it's obvious. The lines are drawn. It's a rap civil war.
In the world where Negroes are fighting. Hey man, look, I'm just saying, but you know, I'm interested. What do you all think about pretty much anything we touched on here today? How do you feel about the fair one between Remy Ma and Nicki Minaj? Do y'all feel Remy went in hard enough, or do you feel, because the way I've studied Remy and her career, this is just an intro track for her ass. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because she one of them long-winded Negroes like Game. Is Game be doing
Joe Budden?
Yeah, 146 million bars, 12-minute tracks. You know what I'm saying? Because we'll see. But what do y'all think? Do you think that Nicki Minaj has the capability, the tenacity? Is she going to be able to manipulate that corporate machine behind her effectively to make Remy look like a buster? Or do you think she gonna try to get on her Sadiddy shit and rap about, you know, pierce $1 million pearls in her vagina and shit?
Yeah, this is your girl Sincere.
Yeah, of course, this is your boy Prince Solomon. Of course, we still got our GoFundMe cooking, right?
Yes, check it out.
All right, y'all, leave your comments below. We are out. Peace.
And this is
Thought Crimes.
Welcome to Thought Crimes, everyone, and this is your girl Sincere Ignorance, and I'm with,
of course, this is the homie Prince Solomon in the building, and welcome to our GoFundMe. Thought Crimes showcases global issues from a black perspective, focusing on the global government, the Federal Reserve, police brutality, our constitutional rights, human rights, and much more. This channel is an alternative to all the other noise out there because we take black Americans' concerns seriously, in addition to being all-inclusive to the diversity of black people as a collective. When you need real commentary on serious issues that the news will never cover, Thought Crimes has your back. No hold bars.
of course, rooted through comedy, entertainment, and not giving a fuck about those with sensitive ears.
Welcome to Thought Crime.
I saw the check, nigga. Huh?
What?
This is the real Alex Jones, as you can see. I was put into this cartoon body by a reptilian. This reptilian took over InfoWars, and now I have to tell everyone the truth about my current state in order to get rid of the fake Alex Jones. Please join me as I fight for survival while still proclaiming the truth that the mainstream media frauds and young turds does not want me to tell you. Please join me here on InfoWars.